Hi, and welcome back to the Ruben Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my review for Wolf King, a new Netflix animated series. This is a season 1 review because so far there's only one season. There's 8 episodes, 25 minutes apiece. This is a non-spoiler review. Let's jump into it. Based on the Werewolf books by Curtis Joubling, Wolf King is an epic fantasy adventure series that follows Drew Ferron as he comes of age and discovers he's the last of a long line of werewolves and rightful yet reluctant ruler of the land governed by werelords. Drew must fight to abolish the tyranny of the Lion Lords and reclaim the throne. The series is directed by Tom Brass for Jellyfish Pictures. At some point I will give you a score for this series. It won't be at the end, it'll be somewhere in between. When it comes to an animated series on Netflix, the quality or the bar is set really high when it comes to the actual animation studios. But when you think of animation studios, you don't generally think Jellyfish Pictures, because the first thing that'll come to mind if you know anything about Jellyfish Pictures is they do live action films for the most part, like The Creator, which is a very underrated sci-fi film in my opinion, Solo, Star Wars movie, Rogue One, one of the greatest, if not the greatest Star Wars movie to come out of the new batch. And then they have delved into animated films like Bad Guys and Kung Fu Panda. So this is not the first time helming it, but when you think Jellyfish Pictures, I also think are slightly more adult in nature in storytelling. And I would say that is correct for this. But the animation style for this is it might take you a little bit back because it feels like you're watching stop motion a lot of the time. But it's not stop motion. It's just made to look that way in places. The action might feel a little stuttery, but that's because they don't have certain frames. The way the animation is styled, they want the less frames. They want it to look slightly like a stop motion action event that you're watching. I think it works to enhance with the characters that they've designed to enhance the action that you see on screen. And so you get used to the animation style very quickly. You kind of fall in love with it. The vibrancy of the world is something I think you're going to find you really like. We have this world of different types of werelords, from bears to wolves to others that I won't spoil the surprises for you, because there are definitely going to be those from the books that are looking forward to seeing some of their favorite wares, and some that have no idea or have never read the books or even heard of them that'll come to this with a massive smile on your face. I think this is for everybody as well. Well, everybody that enjoys animation. Just because it's a PG doesn't mean it's for kids. I think this has an older demographic that it's pitching to, as well as the younger demographic. Those that enjoy good story drama telling, that have political intrigue that is similar to that of Game of Thrones. Obviously it doesn't have that adult nature, but there is all of that kind of court intrigue. There's even a Joffrey character that I think people will hate and want to, fling poo at them.
Well, of course we can still fling poo at them.
Or a slap in the face because he needs it.
I can't stand the wailing of women.
One word, and I hit you again.
I'm telling Mother.
There's those characters that you'll love to hate. There is also the bad guys for the sake of being bad guys. The lions are the sort of MacGuffin bad guys that everybody's going to be like, yeah, they're bad because they just seem to do bad things. Not very fleshed out. It's really the story of the building of the team. It's the MacGuffin storyline that we've seen done many times. That's not to say it's not done well. It's a formula that works really well. This is the first episode is going to introduce you to the world, and you're going to have a sense of awe and wonder, probably like you had similar feelings when you watched the Avatar movie for the first time and you saw Pandora blossom. There are things in this world that when you see them for the first time will make you go, ooh, like a baby gurgling and learning to make noises for the first time. If you enjoy animation, you see what they've done with the world building, the different type of werelords, the different creations even. I think there's a spider that is a light, like a lamp. Beautiful kind of fluorescence, vibrant colors to match the sort of world that harkens to mythical lore and magic all combined together to create a story that you want to find out what's going to happen. But herein lies the crux. The beginning is world building. The middle of it is that, like I said, that story that we've seen done a million times. Building of the characters on a journey, and eventually they'll end up back where they started. We've seen this done so many times, and I was a little bit frustrated with the story, that the story went to this place, because I know what's going to happen in the end. I could basically tell every plot point that was going to happen. I don't know if the books are much more fleshed out, but for me, I could have had a few more episodes to give me some more of the world, rather than rushing through the majority of characters getting to know each other, not trusting each other, building that trust. Now, you were once my enemy, now you are my friend sort of storyline. There are obvious nods to other franchises like Star Wars. There's a moment once you see it, you'll be like, hey, they took that from Star Wars. Absolutely, but everybody's taken something from everything, because nothing is new under the sun. It's just how you take that particular plot point and how you execute it. And I think they do a fantastic job with the scoring, the animation, the voice work is something that you recognize some greats. You'll instantly know, oh, I know that actor. You go look up and yep, that's that person. And then there'll be some fresh new faces. Fresh new voices. For the most part, I think they've done a really good job with the voice working. I think they match up the audio really well, at least in English. The animation movements and mouth talking, all of that is done beautifully. As a first foray into this werewolf storyline, I enjoyed it. It was easy to get through. But the massive part of that is because of the pacing. It's frenetic and fast. It just doesn't let up once it starts. There's very little downtime. And I think I could have done with a little bit more downtime to get to know the characters a little bit more. The action is great. And, if you're just in it for great action, you're going to get to see a lot of werewolf action, sword fighting, swashbuckling, magic sort of, lore that I hoped that we're going to go more into, but the little bit that we do get is really enjoyable. Once you start, it's an easy watch. You'll probably finish this in less than a day. If you're like me, once you get started or stuck into a good book or a good series, you kind of want to finish it and end up working late because you've been watching something longer than you should have. So I'm going to give this 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
You got one.
Even though it has its issues, it's not perfect, I still had a really good time with this. There isn't enough creations, TV series, movies about were stuff. We get mostly stuff about werewolves, but I would love other shape-shifting stories to become popular in the zeitgeist. Maybe this is the start of that, because like entertainment goes in loops. You'll get a whole bunch of movies about apocalyptic lava and volcanoes blowing up. When we had like Deep Impact, Dante's Peak, Armageddon, all of those type of films coming out together. Then we get a bunch of werewolf films, a bunch of sci-fi that does seem to follow a trade. I'm hoping this is the start to more of that, because I think the lore is a little bit untapped there. Let me know your thoughts below. What is your favorite were film or were TV series? What do you enjoy the most that you keep going back to? Mine are probably Werewolf in London, Dog Soldiers, and The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I think that's underrated. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.